What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be looking at the very first Minecraft fanfiction placed on fanfiction.net, or at least the first one that I've seen posted on here, going all the way back to the last page. It is Block by Ed Messiah. It is a brief insight into the conscious mind of a Minecraft cube of dirt. It has 563 words, 74 reviews, 59 favorites, 7 follows, and it was published on October 25th, 2010. Its status, unlike the other ones, has been completed. So, without further ado, let's get into this piece of literature right now. I didn't realize I don't have Minecraft installed on my computer again. I hope you guys are happy. I have to actually download Minecraft again. Shit. Not again. These were my thoughts as I appeared into sudden existence in a dank, gloomy cavern hundreds of blocks beneath the surface. It was only about 10 high, but extended as far to my left as I could make out. I seemed to be embedded in the wall, 1 or 2 off the ground, surrounded on 3 sides by dirt like myself. Well, what now? A creature, clad in decomposing garments, hanging off rancid flesh, shuffled tirelessly back and forth around the little cave. Little cave, mate! A creature, clad in decomposing garments, hanging off rancid flesh, shuffled tirelessly back and forth around the little cave, groaning the same groans and pausing every few seconds to dwell on the inner torments of the undead. Through non-existent eyes, I surveyed the area. I seemed to have the prestige of neighboring a chunk of iron. What luck! And black specks in the wall opposite me denoted the presence of coal. The zombie stopped to examine the irregularity before continuing on its autonomous patrol. I sighed silently. It was only a matter of hours, or days, before I disappeared again, ripped from my shell to be placed in another. I guess that wasn't so bad. This was my 77th incarnation, and yet I'd only felt the warm, refreshing light of the great square on my grass once. Then some bastard tore me away. Suddenly, blinding light everywhere. It filled the cavern and burned retinas I didn't possess until I managed to adjust. A hole had been cleared in the opposite wall, presumably in an effort to extract the coal, and was now expanding. It stopped at 6x4 blocks when a volley of arrows came thundering through. They pierced the rotting skull of the droning creature, which collapsed with a shriek and burst into putrid dust and a single feather. I surveyed the shaft of light pouring into the grimy chamber, and a creature stepped through. He appeared similar to the undead horror he'd slain, but didn't have the same air of decadence about him. Indeed, his skin was living and fresh. His eyes, though, they were as lifeless as the grave. The creature looked around with empty glances. He settled on the iron ore next to me, which began to whimper as it realized what was coming. I pitied it. The creature withdrew a strange implement, like an arc of stone clumsily affixed to a wooden rod, and began to ruthlessly beat the ore. Chips of rock struck the uncaring face of the creature as the ore screamed and pleaded for mercy and death. But the creature didn't hear. The living never heard our screams. The screams of the ore finally stopped as it exploded into a single block, which the creature deposited in a deep pocket. He then removed another tool, this one different, like what was it? A sort of axe used for picking stone. A pickaxe? Like the pickaxe. It had a wooden handle, but instead led up to a sort of flat dome like a... Oh no. Oh God, no. The creature raised its shovel and turned towards my earthen shell. I screamed as a stone head dug into me, destroying clumps of soil and roots, tearing at my body with merciless abandon. I screamed as I died, transported away to some other block, but he didn't hear. The living never heard our screams. Analysis mode activate. I think since this is Minecraft, we need to examine this piece of literature from the perspective of class and Marxism. It has long been written that Minecraft is an existential commentary on the nature of capitalism and its never-ending goose step towards oblivion. Its need to consume the world's raw materials and biosphere can never be satiated, and the treatment of this here dirt block proves that even the most basic of element is at risk during this never-ending endeavor. Through his lifeless eyes, Minecraft Steve can be said to move about the world, gathering all manner of resources for his own need and consuming the environment, all while giving nothing back in return. However, let us look again at how Minecraft Steve is described. His skin is living and fresh, but his eyes are lifeless. This is not a man in control of his means of production. Rather, he is nothing more than a worker, treated more as a tool by the player. The player here is the true master and in sole control of the means of production, with Minecraft Steve as nothing but the mere means of labor. Occasionally, the player will gift Minecraft Steve with a tasty piece of meat, perhaps even one that has been cooked should the player allow such wages. Let us take a new instance of Minecraft Steve, or MSN for short. The player uses the keyboard or controller to send messages to MSN so as to delineate orders for MSN to complete about the world. In return, should MSN read the message and follow through quickly, MSN can continue to exist in the world. Therefore, existence is dependent solely on the sending and receiving of MSN messages from the player to Minecraft Steve. It should be noted here that it is only the player giving the orders, and thus Minecraft Steve is not bourgeoisie, but something more akin to the rank-and-file working class. It is the player who owns the means of production, and is in control over the world through the use of the Nintendo Switch gifted to them by their overindulgent parents, wanting nothing more than to be granted a moment's peace from their insatiably yapping young entity. If you play Minecraft, you should feel bad, and you are bad. It's too late for you, but maybe you can now spend all that free time warning others. This concludes the analysis. That was fun. Let's look at some reviews. Zeke says, I don't like this one. From January 17th of this year. What are you talking about, Zeke? This has been one of the best fan fictions I've read in a long time. Holy shit. Guest says, ... Why you do this, Steve? Why you do this? Sorry I'm late, says 6 years after this was posted. Well, it's a good story. Guest says, that was intense. Dra9 on Slayer says, LOL, I laughed so hard I almost died. No, HSBQWHDVCD says, oh my notch, this certainly is different, but I love different. Guest says, wow, nicely done. So this is Minecraft's first fan fiction. I enjoyed it. XFDHGDFGXDFGXFDG says, Jesus 333, why you make me feel bad for mine and stuff? A person says, that makes me feel bad for the trillions of blocks IV dug up or blow up, LOL. Overall, I'd say this fan fiction was pretty good, nicely written. I don't know how old the person was when they wrote this, but good spelling, good diction, and yeah, it gets 2 Facebook thumbs up out of 5 Reddit updates. See ya.